This exercise can completely change how your chest looks, and almost no one is using it. Most people keep doing push-ups thinking that's enough, but if your chest still looks flat from the side or lacks that lower fullness, you're missing something. There's one movement that, if done properly, can hit your chest differently. Deeper stretch, stronger contraction, and way more lower chest involvement. I'm talking about straight bar dips. And once you get good at them, you'll start noticing something weird. Your chest doesn't just get bigger. It starts looking fuller. The lower part hangs more, the separation gets sharper, and your whole upper body looks denser, even in a shirt. It's a completely different look than what you get from push-ups or benching. So why does something this simple create that kind of change? Because straight bar dips completely change how your chest is loaded. Instead of lying on a bench, your body becomes the weight, forcing your chest to control both strength and stability at the same time. And when you lean forward, it turns into a deep, loaded stretch under your own body weight. At the bottom, your chest is stretched under tension, and at the top, that tension never really turns off. That combination is what makes the muscle fill out differently, especially in the lower chest. And that's why it builds a look most people never get from basic push movements. Now you're probably wondering, what makes it different from normal dips? At first, they look almost the same. You're still pushing your body up and down, so most people assume just another variation. But the setup changes everything. On parallel bars, your arms stay locked at your sides. That naturally keeps your torso more upright, which means more triceps, less chest. And the straight bar is the opposite, because it forces you into a completely different position. Your hands are in front of you, not beside you, which lets you lean forward way more, shifting the load directly onto your chest. It starts feeling less like a dip, and more like a decline press with your body weight. But here's the real difference most people miss. With straight bar dips, your shoulders travel further behind your hands at the bottom. That puts your chest under a deeper loaded stretch than you'll ever get from normal dips. And that stretch is where most of the growth comes from. Then on the way up, because you're balancing your entire body, your chest has to stay engaged the whole time just to control the movement. So instead of short bursts of tension, you get constant tension through a longer range of motion. And that's why it doesn't just build size. It builds that thick lower chest density most people are missing. Now here's the problem. Most people try straight bar dips and feel it everywhere except their chest. Because one small mistake in your setup completely shifts the exercise away from your chest and turns it into something else. So if you actually want to get that fuller look from it, you need to do it right. And that's where most people get it wrong. They think growth comes from just doing more work, so they start adding random sets, chasing fatigue, and wondering why their chest still doesn't change visually. But straight bar dips are very sensitive to quality of tension. If the movement gets bad, the chest stops being the limiting factor, and suddenly your shoulders or triceps take over without you even realizing it. That's why you'll see some people doing tons of dips and still not having that full lower chest look, while others doing less work look completely different. It's not because they're working harder, it's because every rep is actually hitting the chest in that stretched, controlled position. So instead of chasing endless reps, you stay in a controlled range, usually around 8 to 15 reps, where you can still keep full chest tension without turning it into a burnout set or losing form. And frequency matters just as much. 2 to 3 focused sessions per week is more than enough to grow from it, if those sessions are actually high quality. Because once fatigue starts ruining your form, you're no longer training your chest the same way. And when that happens consistently, the exercise stops doing what it's supposed to do. So it's not about pushing it harder every day. It's about staying in that 8 to 15 rep window, keeping the tension clean and making sure your chest is the one actually doing the work. Stay there long enough. And this is one of the few movements that actually changes how your chest looks, not just how tired you feel. Now some lifters don't quite understand how to progress this exercise. They treat it like push-ups, but straight bar dips don't work like that. For max results, you have to progress the load, not just the reps. So here's what that actually looks like. At first, your body weight is enough. It feels heavy, the stretch is intense, and your chest is doing real work. But once you get stronger, that's when you should start adding weight. And even a small amount changes everything. That same movement suddenly feels heavier. And the stretch, it hits deeper than ever. So instead of chasing 20+ reps, you keep your reps moderate and slowly increase the load over time. That's how you keep forcing your chest to adapt. And that's the difference between people who just do the exercise and the ones who actually build that dense, full chest from it. Straight bar dips alone can completely change how your chest looks. But if that's all you're doing, you're still leaving your upper body incomplete. Because this isn't just about building a chest. It's about building a full aesthetic upper body. Most people get obsessed with pushing movements like dips and presses, but they ignore the pulling side that actually builds the structure behind it, the back, the width, and the posture that makes everything look bigger. And when both sides are developed together, that's when your physique starts to look complete instead of just trained. And if you want to take your pulling strength just as far as you're pushing, I put together a free guide with my 5 best tips to build explosive pull-ups faster. Inside, I break down the biggest mistakes that keep people stuck, how to improve your pulling power, and the small adjustments that make pull-ups feel stronger and smoother over time. So if you're trying to build a wider back, link in my description. Because once your pull strength catches up to your push strength, that's when your entire upper body starts to transform. In the meantime, here's a video on how high reps pull-ups can completely transform your body.